You're listening to the Game Tenants Podcast.
What's up, and welcome to the Game Tenants Podcast, the failed adventures of two gamers and their quest for Gamecast stardom.
AKA worthlessly lazy, but so game crazy.
This is episode 80, or as I like to call it, the Ocho Zero?
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Well, that's cool. That's neat.
Yeah, I am Church of the Game Grinder, and as always, joined by my excellent co-host, Jason of Corpse Blood Gaming.
Hello. All right, let's get right into talking about some games, man. We got lots to talk about this time. Some potential gripes about Shantae. What? Yeah, we got some re-releases and some hinting at some possible new content for Red Dead. That sounds pretty exciting. New Resident Evil game that's not Resident Evil 3 or 8. What's up with that? And a bit of a change for Yakuza. What do you think it's going to be for the better or what? All these will be answered on this episode of the Game Tenants Podcast.
Sounds enthralling.
I'm so enthralled. I'm so revved up.
Hell yeah.
Let's get to it. Too radio hosty? Sorry.
Maybe.
All right. Well, as I always like to ask, what you been up to?
I have been doing the usual stuff.
For 3 damn weeks.
3 damn weeks. Playing some games. Actually, not as much as you'd think. I've been, watching some stuff, and...
What the fuck are the... What?
Yeah. Not just...
Okay, hold on. Time out. It's not how much I think. It's how much I fucking expect, bro.
Right.
I never even call you bro, and I called you bro just now. So you know how displeased I am with you when I call you bro.
Well,
Get some goddamn games played, bro.
Right. Well, I've been playing some games. So first off, just wanted to shout out my Catherine full body unboxing video.
Woo!
The remaster that came out. I actually put out a video. Neato.
I seen it.
And then I finished Control. Kind of shared most of my thoughts last time. Don't really have a ton more to add to that. It's a crazy
Nothing got
game.
out of control.
It's a little out of control. It's pretty wild. I would definitely recommend the game if it looks interesting. If you check out a trailer, you're like, hey, that looks cool. Game's probably be pretty cool. If you check out the trailer and you're like, that looks like a turd, then you're probably not going to enjoy it, because I trust you folks to have good judgment. But I recommend Control.
I recommend that you recommend Control. I'm gonna check it out after the game I'm currently playing.
Gets pretty bonkers. This is a game like some games handle text files, collectible text files with extra.
They're just kind of like they didn't feel like writing the story, so they just put text files everywhere to fill it in because they didn't know how to tell the story.
Some games can do it well, some games can't. Control does it incredibly well. It makes it way more interesting because you get case files of these paranormal items and stuff, and it's pretty wild.
I always like it. I always like it when collectibles and shit have a purpose rather than just, oh man, you're just gonna run through this level and kick its ass. We're gonna make you have to look in every corner for collectibles. Gears 5. Oh shit. Oh, sorry. I think I got bronchitis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and one other super random thing that I don't know, I just really appreciated is
Me?
Thanks,
man.
Yeah, of course. But besides you, the credits for Control had a Porcupine Tree song, which I think is super neato, and hopefully that pushes like a few people out there to like say, oh, hey, cool, who's this band? And
it might have if you didn't just call it Super Neato.
Super neato. No, it's Steven Wilson, one of his bands, and he is like a prog rock god as far as I'm concerned. Produced the best Opeth albums.
Yeah, bro.
Some of the best Opeth albums.
Okay, that's the last time I'm saying bro this podcast, I promise.
Okay. But then from me kind of like giving that a shout out when I beat the game, on Twitter, one of the co-hosts of the Polykill podcast, Jake.
Yeah.
The McAxel, at the McAxel on Twitter, hit me up and said, hey, did you know about this game called The Last Day of June, which was based on a Steven Wilson music video? And I was like, no, I did not. Which is pretty wild. The video, I was familiar with the video called Drive Home, which is it's a great song, super depressing music video, much kind of like a lot of Steven Wilson's stuff, the melancholic prog rock
sorrow.
I dig it, but yeah, so I was like, I definitely have to check out the song or this game, and it's a pretty interesting game. It's kind of like it's not a walking sim, but it's not. It's almost too far to say that it's like an adventure / puzzle game, because it's like, I mean,
it's not a walking sim, but it's not a walking sim either.
Right. But it's pretty cool. It's a twist on what it was inspired by. Like the song that the music video was based on is like not even in the game, which I thought was kind of interesting. But it
licensing
has like
issues.
Well, no, because the entire soundtrack of the game is Steven Wilson music, just without lyrics. Like it's just background music, which is pretty neat. One song kind of like is like really jarring when they throw it in, because the game's like pretty like calm and morose and whatnot. But no, it's a cool game.
Was he involved with it, or did they just use his music?
I'd imagine he gave the blessing. And because he was involved with like something to do with the video or something, I don't know. But no, it's a cool game. Would recommend checking it out. More, I like high concept stuff, and the story was pretty interesting. There's some unique like time. Like kind of like time rewind mechanic, where you like replay scenes and do different actions, and it makes the outcome different. You kind of go through these different characters to adjust the situation.
Cool.
And we learn not every hero's journey is a happy one.
Sometimes it's fucking depressing.
True. And then definitely not depressing is the Cartridge Club's game of the month for September is StarCraft. So I don't know.
It's got my D pressing against the front of my fucking pants.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's StarCraft for me. It's one of my favorite games ever. So I replayed the first part of StarCraft. I am working my way through Brood War right now, which it's like, you got to play Brood War, the expansion. It's like watching like the first half of the Lord of the Rings and not finishing it. Like,
I'm sure they made it. Yeah, I'm good. Just watch just half the story and just assume the rest.
Oh, man, I love it. I mean, I know the whole story and all that, but just wanted to replay it. It's been a while. I haven't played it since like I played it when it was first released, and then I played it years later before StarCraft 2 came out.
When the definitive one came out on N64, right?
I did play that, but not to completion. Just out of sheer curiosity. Pretty good port, actually.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad.
For those who are,
I was expecting it to be totally ass, and it was pretty
Yeah,
competent at
Blizzard
least.
does a good job of porting their games. Back then, anyways. Like, Diablo was really good. Warcraft was fine.
Yeah. You know me, though. Always got to throw something stupid in there. Just like when I was saying that PS2 version of Half-Life was the definitive version of it.
Right. But, maybe some people should think about that. Because a lot of people are like, oh, PC game. Even though, like, everybody that's listening to this probably has a computer of some sort. And I guarantee you that computer can run StarCraft just fine. And maybe if your computer's like okay, you could play the StarCraft remaster, which I doubt probably takes much more processing power. And that's what I'm currently playing is the remastered version.
Play the remaster on like the lowest settings though.
Well, there's not really settings.
Be playing the original.
I mean,
what?
it's either there's not graphic settings like so old. But it's great. I love it. The remaster looks fantastic. I thought about picking up the Carbot cartooned mod, which I used to share the Carbot videos for a while, and nobody ever responded, so I stopped sharing those. What's that?
What the fuck is it like Transformers? Carbots?
Carbot animation. He does little like cute animated parodies.
It's a creator. Okay.
Yeah.
Thought he meant Carbot mod, where he just turned everything into fucking Autobots or something.
No.
I was like, go on.
He started out doing basically a bunch of series. He did like it was called like Diablo and World of War LOL. Like basically that was like the parody, but it was like very simple but funny animations, and the guy knew the games, so he could make effective jokes and things like that, and they were really funny.
Sweet.
I enjoy his stuff. But he made, basically through making all these like StarCraft videos, he had enough where he could actually like make a full-blown reskin mod of StarCraft, which is pretty hilarious. It's funny, but the game is mostly mostly a serious game until you start like clicking on your units a whole bunch of times. That's when like all the Blizzard Easter eggs kick in with the silly lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, StarCraft.
When they start to get annoyed and shit. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So that's what I have been up to. What have you been up to?
A whole lot. Working more, but still managing to get through some shit. So, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. Putting out some videos too.
Yeah, a couple of videos. Yeah, actually, my older son made his video debut, and we did a Ghostbusters 35th anniversary box unboxing from a box I bought at GameStop. It was a lot of fun. He was like professional right away. Never in my history of making videos have I shot, edited, and uploaded a video so fast. From us starting to record to it like uploading to YouTube was like 12 minutes.
That's crazy.
Like as soon as the camera went on, I didn't have to restart. I didn't have to be like, all right, stay on topic. Like I have to do that with the girls even. Like, all right. Especially Avison. Avison's such a firecracker. They have to be like, all right, you're making up words and chanting random crap. Like we gotta actually stay like, sort of on topic. Like a little bit. Yeah.
I don't think I've
I like him goofing around and stuff, but yeah, there's been ones where I've had to like start the entire video over because she starts going googly blah 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 blah, and you're like,
yeah. Well, that's nice. Yeah.
So yeah, Saren was like the professional, like right off the bat.
I don't think I've done a video in like less than 2 hours. Like
yeah, I was stoked. Like he got home from school. And before the girls got home from school, which is usually about like half hour after them, we had it already uploading. Like I think it was actually done uploading by the time they got home. But we waited for my wife to get home so we could watch it as a family because he was so proud. And he's asked me every day since, oh, we're making another video, Dad? Oh, we should do a Star Wars Lego set. We should make a Lego set and a video or something. I'm just like, damn, this guy's got ideas. So yeah, he's gonna be in some more videos pretty soon here. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. not really game related, but I mean, the Ghostbusters game is coming out again right away, so I count it.
Yeah.
And but very video game related. The third episode of our Retro Game Treasure versus Video Games Monthly video came out about a week later than I wanted it to, but like I said, I've been working a lot more, so it's kind of annoying. But besides videos, I've gotten through quite a few games, and not just short games. I've been playing like kind of another VR binge. I played through Sirento, Blood and Truth, and Wolfenstein Cyberpilot.
Nice.
And I think I loved all three of them. Cyberpilot was probably the only one I was a little bit disappointed in, just because it was really short. It controlled really well. The levels were pretty fun, but they were over faster than I would have liked.
How long was the game?
And there was like, I don't know, maybe like 3 hours.
Okay, that's not too bad.
But you do this like in between stuff that's obviously just kind of like filler, where you're like at the base, and you end up driving the different mechs. Like there's like a drone you fly. There's I can't remember what they're called. Basically like the big wolf robots, and then like the big like, yeah, Panzerhund or something like that, and then the giant mech you play, and you only do those for like one full level each, and then you do one that's kind of like a combo where you switch back and forth. And it basically felt like right when it started to like get really interesting, like it was, like I said, it was fun, it handled well, it was really cool, but then like it ended. It felt like it was a really cool demo, like showing what the game's gonna be, and that's what bummed me out. Like, wow, that would have been really fun if there was like 20 missions or something. Yeah, it was really cool. There's like a stealth one with the drone. You do stealth and stuff like that. The abilities were really cool, but there just really wasn't a lot to kind of make me want to play it again, like go back through it. So
sure.
That's a bit of a bummer. Sirento was pretty awesome. Just the amount of awesome like weapons to choose from. There's so many weapons. There's so many.
It's like too many
powers and stuff. Yeah. I found I stuck with basically the same two.
Yeah,
I had a glaive in one hand and this really good machine gun in the other, and I basically played most of I branched out and tried a few just anyway. But yeah, it was really cool. The only thing I could say for the control wise that was kind of a little bit of annoying until I changed the turning to be like 45-degree angle instead of 90 was that like it felt like I really needed a strafe button as a ninja.
Yeah.
But besides that, it was pretty tight. I really enjoyed it. But it's the only game where I had to look up online. Did I beat the game? Because you go through these very straightforward missions.
Yep.
And then when it feels like you beat the game, but then you kind of go into, without spoiling anything, you like kind of go into, all of a sudden it's just like clean up the streets missions, which feel like almost like a bot deathmatch with like a I don't know, with a purpose. Like you'd be like, take down this guy, this or that, which is still fun. But I went through a whole bunch of these and nothing can seem to kind of happen narrative wise. So I was just like, so did I beat it? Is it just left open for a sequel? So besides that, it was a really great game. I definitely, if they put out a sequel, I'll definitely be picking up. And Blood and Truth was probably my favorite PSVR game I've played to date. It was really awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much what everybody's saying, and I really need to get it.
I'm like really nitpicking, but the only thing that I think could have been a bit better was the actual like aiming at some points. It didn't feel very, like I felt like I was holding the controller right to my face to be able to look down the sights, and it was kind of uncomfortable. But for like from the hip shooting wasn't really effective at some points. You know, when you got like a lot of enemies close.
The shooting is bad.
No, the shooting wasn't bad. Just like the aiming at some points, like when you're trying to be precise. When you're trying to be precise. So I got used to it. Some levels it seemed to be more of a problem than others. But yeah, anyway. Like I said, very nitpicky. It was a great game. Great story.
The aiming was the only thing that mattered to me. I'm like completely out now.
Fuck you, you miss out on some good ass shit. Another one I didn't quite get through, but I was loving. I'm actually working on a Top 3 Tuesday video. That's why I was playing a bunch of these that I hadn't gotten to try yet. The only one I put some more, I'd say, substantial time into was Trover Saves the Universe.
Fucking right, man.
And I had to pull myself away from that.
So good.
Because I was having so much fun playing it.
So good.
I'll be going back to it right away, but I was basically like getting a feel for all these games, and Blood and Truth already got me, where I like just sat beginning to end and just beat it in one sitting. And it's not a short game. Like a lot of the VR games feel like you know, just like a bit of like, you know, a sampler, like a shorter experience kind of thing, which was like Cyberpilot. But this one was like a good like 5-6 hours at least. Yeah. So some meat on that.
Absolutely.
And I definitely want to go back and play it sometime, but I can't in good conscience do it without playing more of the VR games. So I'll definitely be going back to that. Highly recommend. And the only other game I beat on console was Gears 5. And if you know anything about me, you know that I was not going to not be beating that right away. I was all over that from the second it came out. And I even put an Xbox in my living room, and I never have a console in my living room because with kids I don't want to get it wrecked. So yeah, my son's loved it. Because until my wife got home from school, I'd be just playing it while when I didn't have other stuff I was supposed to be doing. So yeah, excellent game. I love the story a lot more than 4. 4 was it was fun to play, but I found the story itself kind of lacking. This one switched it up a bit. There's some actually open areas where you can actually explore. There's things you can totally miss, like missions you can completely miss if you don't explore, if you just go straight for the main objective. I'm not sure how I feel about that. At one turn I liked it, but at the same time I almost, in Gears specifically, I kind of don't mind when it's like a corridor of, the most choice you have is, are you going to take the left route or the right route?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, it didn't ruin it in any way, but yeah, I don't know how I felt about it. It made the area itself seem like it dragged on a lot, because I did do all the side stuff. Anything I found anyway. I didn't really use a guide, but I don't think I really missed anything. So
every game's got to have that open world aspect now.
It wasn't super over the top, but yeah, there were some points where I was just like, oh man, I've been in this like snowy area forever. And it's got a nice long campaign to it, so that's always fun. More Gears is only ever a good thing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I've tried out a couple of the new modes and stuff, and they seem pretty cool. But I had to put it down for now because I actually acquired a Holy Grail item, something I've always wanted since I was about 7 years old. I got me a Terminator 2 arcade machine.
Hell yeah.
So I have been playing the shit out of it with the kids. Fortunately, it is too deep to fit down in my basement. So for now, it lives in the garage because I don't want it getting all marked up being in the dining room. My wife was totally cool with it being in the dining room, but I was like, no. I'll be like throwing all the markers and pencil crayons and crayons away just to make sure nothing marks it up. So I was like, yeah, that's not happening. But yeah, super happy to have that. Like I said, I wanted that since I was about 7 years old. So it's good to finally have that. And the end of my super long, what I'm been up to is I'm about in the middle of Astral Chain finally.
Ooh.
And it is so good. I like it a lot.
Pretty much what I've been hearing. It's
It's
fantastic.
definitely hands down the best looking Switch game I've played yet. Like I almost don't believe that how they got it to look so good on the Switch. It looks like a PS4 game, so that's a huge compliment. But it also plays excellently. Like it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
I wish there was more combos and stuff with like the actual like because you're chained to this like demon thing, which they call a chimera, and you do combos with it. But I find like your actual combos you do with your own weapon kind of leave a little bit to be desired. Like I don't know, maybe I've just been playing too much like old God of War and Devil May Cry stuff, but I kind of feel like I want a bit of that. But besides that, everything else is amazing. I've been the exploring is fun and stuff like that. There's lots of cool things you could totally miss. You know, it deserves the right to be called a platinum game for sure. It's a ton of fun.
Awesome.
Super futuristic anime cops chained to demons. So gotta love it. Yeah, it's you can just jump right into it, and it's got co-op too. I'd like to try the co-op at some point, but as of right now, I'm just totally cool playing it by myself. Yeah, I'm probably about 7 hours into it, and apparently it's about 12 to 18.
Sweet.
So I like the story. It's really, really engaging. It got me like right away. So yeah, that's what I got.
Platinum.
Anyway, let's move into our retro game highlight.
Yeah. So last time you talked about the classic Parasite Eve.
I did do that.
Fantastic game.
Hold on, I'll pat myself on the back. That was a good one.
Yeah, good pick. Good pick. This time, I'm going with something maybe a little more simple. Want to give some love to Tetris Attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's familiar with Tetris. Tetris Attack, plays like Tetris, but as you complete lines, there's more like of a competitive angle to this one, where as you complete lines, then it'll make basically like big blocks on the opponent that they have to get combos to like destroy the blocks. And
well, it's the first Tetris after the original Tetris where you weren't just like, so why'd they make another one? Just money?
Yeah.
We were like, oh, this is cool. This is different. I remember that was my thoughts when I played like Tetris 2. I'm like, why?
Yeah. And this one's kind of, I'd say it's kind of more of a special game because of the connection that some friends and I have. Especially I have a group of friends that have been playing this like within the group, kind of like here and there for the last 20 years or so, trying to who's the king of Tetris Attack, who's the best, and it always kind of goes back and forth. And I actually had to brush my hands and say I can't play this game anymore, guys. You're too good. Because
you scrubbed out.
I scrubbed out because two of my friends are just they're just masters at it, and yeah.
Well, at least you were humble enough to own up to it.
Sometimes that's like.
Sometimes you gotta just. That's as good as I get.
Like I said, it was like all the N64 wrestling games. Like I just couldn't handle or couldn't hang with my friends. They're just too good. So.
I know you wouldn't even accept my challenge at MGC. I was so hurt. Speaking of which, I'm actually wearing my WCW versus NWO Revenge shirt right now.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tetris Attack, definitely a fun game. I recommend to play with friends. Like if you do a game night, you'll have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. It's fun. I actually need to I think I have it on Game Boy. Is think there's a Game Boy version, isn't there? Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think I have that. I don't think I have the other versions.
I guess Super Nintendo though.
What?
Nice and colorful. Runs great.
I think it's one of those ones where you put it in the Super Game Boy and it's like the same. Just like
I doubt it. I really
I don't
do.
know, there's a couple games on there where you put it in there and it's literally the exact game. Was it Space Invaders? You put in Space Invaders, it's literally the Super Nintendo game when you play it on the Super Game Boy. Did you know that?
I
Now
did
you
know.
know.
That's the only one I knew that
Yeah,
about.
I think there's a couple that are like really similar when you put it in there. Anyway, getting off topic. Tetris Attack rules.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to talk about something else you think rules, but might rule a little bit less?
Yeah. My hype levels are very confused right now. Yeah. So the last few months or so, I've been getting slowly hyped up for the next Shantae game, Shantae and the Seven Sirens.
Bullshit. Slowly hyped.
Well, it's insta hype.
I heard your heart beating from Canada to this shit when they announced it.
Well, the trickle feed of information, and yeah, so it is they've been putting out trailers. There's the demo at PAX West, and then they just announced that Shantae and the Seven Sirens is going to be released tomorrow, which of the time we're recording this podcast is tomorrow, September 19th.
It's coming out tomorrow?
It's coming out tomorrow. Well,
they just surprise announce that tomorrow?
Here's the first asterisk is part 1 is being released tomorrow. So not the full game, which is kind of confusing because the impression that I got that this was going to kind of return to like kind of the more of the Metroidvania roots, like maybe like Pirate's Curse or Risky's Revenge. So that's one catch. The biggest catch of them all, the catch of all catches, is this is at least
Ash Ketchum, if you will.
at least for the time being, this is exclusive to the Apple Arcade.
Woo!
Also launches.
Oh wait, that's not good. That's not good
which
at all.
also launches September 19th. Apple Arcade. Yeah. Awesome. And anybody who doesn't know what the Apple Arcade is, this is Apple's game streaming service, exclusive to Apple products. So if you don't have an iPhone, if you don't have a modern iPad, because you can't use like the early gen iPads, because there are compatibility issues, or maybe an Apple TV, then you can enjoy the games on the Apple Arcade.
Well,
I don't support Apple products.
Are they gonna come out? What, do you guys don't have phones? You guys don't have iPhones?
You don't have phones? I do have a phone. I have an Android phone. That's not like as restrictive and tracking all my. I mean, they're all tracking my shit, but I just don't like Apple. I support Apple devices on my job. I'm very familiar with them.
So what you're saying is you're gonna steal an iPad from work?
I'm not.
Low key just like basically told us. Like, yeah, I'll be playing it.
If it comes,
you'll be playing. Oh, you'll just be playing it at work.
If it comes to it, maybe I'll borrow one or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm right now. I'm going to assume that this is going to be a timed exclusive, which maybe it's
just the first episode or whatever is exclusive, and then like when it comes out on other stuff, it'll be the complete.
Maybe I'm not sure, but they would be so foolish for them to not put this out on other systems, because I know the PlayStation 4, I know PC and Switch all sold very well for Half Genie Hero.
Well, I know, because you bought them all.
Well, that too.
You bought all the copies.
I did.
I saw your garage. It's just stacks of the same games.
Not that
It's
far.
kind of crazy.
I'm no Mel Gibson from.
I opened your cupboard looking for
Conspiracy
plates,
Theory.
and there's just Shantae games crammed in where the plates should be.
Well, you open the cupboard up and you just fall out. You get pinned.
The more volume than the cupboard can actually hold is the comedic volume of games.
Yeah.
Where are these all coming from?
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. Apparently they're gonna be releasing more info. So maybe by the time you hear this, they'll have already said what's going on. But I've been seeing lots of other people with sharing my concerns. I'm not all upset.
Yeah.
Because there's the hope, and as long as it comes to other systems, then
Consoles.
I can wait. It's a bummer.
The consoles.
It's a bummer that I have to wait. Like I'm a day one.
Usually limited run will carry like iPads with it pre-installed, collector's editions.
Yeah, right.
Like
Yeah.
only $1,500.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it happening.
I could just see you madly just. I guess I'm buying an iPad. God damn it.
Damn it. Yeah, right. Yeah, I will say for a while now, Way Forward makes it really like. Not to be a Shantae fan, but to be a Shantae collector, they make it really difficult. And now this is like where they're gonna make it difficult to be a Shantae fan because
It's like they're like they don't know what to do with the success. Like, oh my god, it's not a niche game now. People know about it. Back into the darkness. He's backing away with a torch.
yeah.
People know about us now.
But like
They're being hipster about themselves. Just
yeah.
Man, people know who we are now. It's not even as cool. Let's just shoot it in the foot a bit. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah. Time will tell, and I am going to remain hopeful because that's all I got.
For now, you're gonna live your entire life with clenched fists until you find out otherwise. Gonna have to learn how to live your life with doing everything with clenched fists.
Like I'm basically media blackout on the game too. Like there's a 30-minute like gameplay video that was put out, and like I'm not gonna watch it because I want to play the game. I don't want all this crap being spoiled for me. So now it's like I get to like try to avoid everybody enjoying the game, and I'm like, I just want to play it.
Shit.
But I can't.
I feel
Because
bad.
another exclusive gaming service. This crap is getting out of hand.
Well, just services in general.
Exactly.
Look at all the little streaming services for
God.
like TV. It's just like they're like, oh, no one's buying cable. They're all doing the streaming service. I know. Let's have as many streaming services as we had channels, and then they'll have to subscribe, separately, and we'll make more money.
I will. You heard it here. There was a time when I pirated everything, and then they made streaming services accessible and affordable, and I was like, you know what? I can support this. And I got my Netflix, and I got my Hulu, and I got my Amazon Prime. And I'm not...
Going past that.
God damn it. I'm not doing this. I'm not playing this game. I will go right back to stealing all your crap.
Arr.
Maybe do I gotta start doing that with video games again? Because I put some
Shit.
years in doing that. Like
We're gonna have to do some truck robbing.
I don't know if you knew this, but Rockstar now has their own launcher for PC. They didn't pull
I know that.
They didn't pull their games from like Steam and wherever else they're offered. But
Smart.
now they have their own service.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you already basically had to kind of use it. Like if you played GTA on Steam, like first thing you have to do is load it up, and then you have to put in the Rockstar Social Club crap because they have to double down on their DRM, and now this is just going to be like more. It's like, come on, people, come on. First party games though, that's fine. It's their games. Do it.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's fine. But
Do it.
again, like I said before, third party game exclusivity is a load of hooey And,
Hui bung.
and I do not like this game being made an Apple exclusive.
As
And
the Klingons would say, that's total pach.
And
I'm just
now
kidding. I made up
this
a
makes
Klingon
me.
slur.
It does make me concerned that this game is now going to be dumbed down because it has to run on these devices instead of.
I thought you were gonna be like, because Apple users are gonna be using it now.
Yeah, right.
That's where I thought you were going with that, so I started pre-laughing.
No, but yeah, sure, you can get iPhone 10 or the iPad Pro or whatever. They're decent pieces of hardware, but they're not comparable to like a game that you could make for a PC with unlimited.
They can make
potential.
Shantae runner.
Yeah. That's what I was at first when I heard when I saw Apple Arcade Shantae. I was like, oh no. And
It's gonna be either a gem match 3 gem game or a runner game.
yeah.
Boo.
Boo. So yeah. So it is what it is. We'll find out.
Hopefully we'll find out with good news.
Yes.
Don't
Don't disappoint. Way forward. Don't do me like this.
do it. Quit feeding me these harsh browns.
But I guess some more positive news. We might have mentioned this before. I can't remember. But Star Ocean First Departure is getting a remake. And it's being released on December 15th.
So it's a remake of the remake.
It's a remake of the remake. Well, it's a remaster of the remake, technically.
Yeah, remaster the PS1 remake. Neat.
Which was a remake of the Super Famicom original.
Yeah.
Which I've not played either. I do have.
It's the biggest file size, I think, of any Super Nintendo game.
Yes.
Because it's like the most expensive repro. I got a really good deal on mine. That's why I have it. Because it was like, whereas others would be like $30, maybe $40 at the most. It was consistently like $80 to $100. But I got mine for I think it was $50. So
yeah,
I'm happy. It works and it's awesome.
But it's
cool.
a
real shame. It's a real shame we didn't get it over here. There's those are pretty much the only repros I have are the really good RPGs that we didn't get over here. And it sucks.
It's not right.
Yeah.
But
because they were too busy plugging the system that has like 2 RPGs on it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, N64 is out. No one's going to want to play RPGs anymore on Super Nintendo.
Right. Well,
little do they know. Here we are 30 years later.
Yeah.
Still like, I just found a new Super Nintendo RPG. See you in 6 months.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, another blast from the past coming out too. I'm stoked about is Doom 64 coming out to the Switch.
Switch or no buy. Oh, I guess you got to buy
Well, it's a Nintendo game. Yeah, well, it's yeah, you do. Because this is the only other available version since the N64. So, and it's its own game. It's not just Doom on the N64. It's its own separate game, which is what's cool about it. It's not that'd be like me being like, yes, they're remastering the Super Nintendo port of Doom or something. Be like, oh, why though?
But why?
So, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that. I've always loved that game. I think it's one of the games I went the most out of the way to find. I finally just was like tired of looking for it. I for some reason never even saw it in stores, or with all the big lots of 64 games I get, I never find it. And I finally was just like, screw it, I'm ordering it. So happy.
Nice.
It's one of my favorite 64 games.
Yeah, it's
speaking of the games we like, looks like Red Dead's gearing up for a new add-on. Maybe online, maybe on the the online only, or hopefully maybe an actual story add-on would be cool.
We don't know.
If it's anything like the previous game. Because people started spotting zombies here and there in the game.
Does that mean maybe Undead Nightmare expansion? Or, as you said, is it an online thing? Or maybe this is just a holiday thing? We don't know.
I don't know.
But I hope it's Undead Nightmare.
I really liked the story on Undead Nightmare, so I'm really hoping it's a story add-on and not just online, because if it's just the online, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
I don't really get into those online. I mean, I really tried the first one. I play a little bit of, just Rockstar games in general online. They're fine, but, once I beat the game, I'm just kind of move on. Just like a lot of the games with online, I dabble in it and then move on. But that's cool. That was one of my favorite add-ons of last gen. Was like it was like its own game.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Witcher add-ons are like right now for Witcher 3. So
Totally.
Geese. And another series that I am a huge fan of is taking a bit of a chance with its next installation. Yakuza 7 is going turn-based.
Crazy.
Which is potentially really cool. I mean, I like the beat-em-up style, but I think they're just trying to set this story kind of apart from the Kiryu story, who was the main protagonist of 0 through 6. So I think they're just kind of trying to not exactly distance themselves from the style, because as I understand it, the rest of the game will be what you expect from Yakuza, but this will be turn-based.
Mix it up.
Turn-based. So yeah, I'm up for a little bit of a mix-up, as long as it's not all future games are this way, or even the ability to switch back and forth. I'd be down with that too. Just like another game that we're both looking forward to coming out, Final Fantasy VII Remake has announced that they're actually going to have turn-based combat
like
in the classic mode. So that's probably a huge relief for some people who are not exactly on the progressive train with the new changes to the game.
Yeah, I bet it's going to be comparable to probably like with Dragon Quest 11, where you can like run around, and maybe that doesn't like really matter that much, or like I played the entirety of Dragon Quest 11 was in their classic mode, which then does your lineup, and it does like camera angles like for each attack like we're used to, which was totally missing in the like action mode. Like it didn't have like that cool stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, right. So yeah, here's hoping that it makes some people happy, because I know some people are like, some people are like just total hype killers about it. Like, oh, not turn-based. It's all gonna be like Final Fantasy 15 garbage. Blah, blah, blah,
No, they
blah,
got
blah.
turn-based. FC.
Suck a dick.
Yeah.
No, but people are still gonna poo-poo it being, episodic.
Yeah.
I don't know how many episodes they're planning for it. I'm hoping it's not too many.
I'd say
I don't know how many
at most.
I don't know how many super expensive collector's editions I can get to
right.
get the whole game.
Right. Right. But I would, because we'll see. We'll see what happens. It would be nice to have a Tifa to go with my Cloud statue.
Yeah.
At
Well,
least.
the first one's just Cloud and the Hardy Daytona, and then the second one has every other character. Like, come on, well, what? It'd be like a $900. Yeah, yeah, $900 is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
Ridiculous.
I don't know. Speaking of figures for a moment, did you see the PS1 classic style figures that they were showing off at the Tokyo Game Show?
Yes, I hope those come available here, because I would buy them.
I fucking neat.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. They look like the overworld models.
The blocky.
Yeah, the overworld models. Which for some reason that seems like people think that that's like entirely what Final Fantasy VII looks like the whole time you're playing the game. Which
no, man, no. Before I played it, all I seen was cutscenes and shit, and then it would be barely actually show the gameplay. Everyone like knows the famous cutscenes and shit, and you're like, oh, and then it cuts to like these characters, and you're like, what the, huh?
No, it's
from the time.
Yeah, and
I
I don't personally. I still think they look fine.
Yeah, they look fine, but
But
Yeah,
when you get
definitely.
into battles and the cutscenes, like, you get the high-res models.
Yeah, they're like, shit. Yeah, so yeah, is what it is.
Yeah.
Some people like it, some people don't. I remembered how jarring it was the first time I saw it. I was just like,
I remember how
what the fuck?
mind-blowing it was the first time I saw it.
Like all
Like,
the...
oh my god, my pants.
Yeah, like all the cutscenes and shit, and then it like goes to the actual overworld models, and you're like, whoa. I mean, it looks pretty cool, but
Cue up the
what happened to them?
Cue up the Lonely Island song.
Just in your pants,
Pretty much.
or you were on a boat? I don't know
Both.
what the boat reference would be. So yeah,
Like a boss, even.
so yeah, those are pretty decent. And another announcement was made. I was hoping, there was a bit of like a tease before the tease that something Resident Evil was going to get announced.
Yeah.
And we got something, and to be fair, it looks cool. But
I'm
the last episode, we even like talked about how much I really want Resi 3 remake, so I can have the entire mainline series on one, and hopefully Resi 8 before the next thing, because it's my understanding that they're working on kind of basically both side to side. Well, Veronica's not mainline, but yeah, I'd welcome that too.
Shit. I'd rather have Veronica. I think of all of the other Resident Evil games they could possibly like redo something with right now, Code Veronica is the one that I want the most, because that's probably my second favorite Resident Evil, besides 2.
Well, it's gotten already like retouched and stuff. I want my 3.
Yeah, I do too. But actually, like, I was not super thrilled about what I was initially seeing for Resident Evil Resistance until they actually did some clarification on what it is. Because at first everyone's like, "Oh, it's Left 4 Dead," and it's like, please don't do that. Don't compare. Usually poor Resident Evil multiplayer games to like potentially my favorite game, one of my favorite games ever. But then there was clarification that this is actually more like a multiplayer escape room.
It's more like it's almost like Evolve, but they're gonna try and make it work.
Well,
Where it's like, was it 4 team or 5 team members, and then one player controlled like, Mr. X or whatever, what have you.
One piece. They control a lot of things. They control traps. They control zombie, like sending out zombies. Like they're
so
a
it's almost like
it's
like a DM.
Yeah.
Basically,
and they can take control of, like, I'm assuming you get a timer or something, and you can use Mr. X for a little bit, or maybe they throw in some other bosses or something you get to play as.
Well, there's liquors, there's shit like that. So yeah, maybe. It looks cool. I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
It's something I probably actually would watch more trailers to get more info on. It's like not one of those ones I'm sold on right away.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
honestly,
like, it could be cool.
Most of the non-mainline mainline Resident Evil games, most of them aren't great. Although I really enjoyed Revelations 1. Like, that's one of my favorites. I really enjoyed
Revelations are really good.
2, but then you got like Dead Aim and Survivor and Outbreak, and
everyone was hoping that it was going to be like a new Outbreak. So, I liked Outbreak. It was fun.
I didn't really get to play it because I couldn't figure out at the time. I couldn't get the online working. So
yeah,
it
was cool. I'd like to play more of it. I've got both of them, but yeah, I haven't really popped them in. I don't know if they still work, even if there's no online component.
And those would be a cool one, like if they did like a remaster package or something.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's what I said. A lot of people were hoping that's what it was. Like, now that online is such a huge thing, like, it'd be a time to bring out something like that. Like, it's a lot of the cool things of like that generation, like, were just ahead of their time. Shit that like people weren't ready for yet. Like, look at a lot of the Dreamcast's functionality was just went by the wayside because no one could really utilize it yet. You know, needing broadband internet, not a lot of people had that kind of shit and this and that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, a lot of that stuff would really do cool with a resurgence and a remaster or even a sequel. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not gonna say how I feel about it one way or the other until I see more. But it looks
Right.
promising.
Yes. Agreed. So, I guess with those game announcements, we could probably look at some more not game announcements, but game releases.
Upcoming.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time, one of the times when I can't keep up, and it sucks.
Well, it's the busy season, so I call it.
Yeah,
I hate this time of year, honestly,
I love it, but I hate it.
because nothing comes out for like one every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like every week. I'm like, oh yeah, I got like 4 games coming out this week. You know, you're gonna play. One's gonna take you at least a week to beat. Like with Gears 5.
Yeah.
I played it on a harder difficulty, so I could get the most out of it. But I was like, it's gonna take me a while before I'm actually back playing more of that, and I really want to, but can't.
Yeah. So.
But
yeah, what do we got here? We got, of course,
I'm looking.
Borderlands 3, which is going to be 6 months for the Steam version, so I'm holding out.
There's a lot of console versions available. I actually bought but then returned it, because I realized how long it's going to be before I get to it, and I was like, I might as well just get it on sale, so I brought it right back.
I've been hearing there is
as much as I want to play it, like, don't get me wrong, I'm super stoked for it. I love the Borderlands games. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, it's not a priority, though.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of games I want to play more. So I'm trying to prioritize. Rather than just grab everything I want to play, I want to grab stuff more that I intend to play now. If I'm pre-ordering it, it's something I intend to play within a couple of weeks of it coming out. Whereas Borderlands, I don't even see me getting to it before the new year. So might as well get it on Black Friday or whatever.
Yeah.
But another one I'm really hoping it's a physical version. What?
Oh. Borderlands? Because I got some shit. I wasn't done talking about it.
Oh.
Dude.
Do go on.
No, so I've been actually hearing some mixed things about Borderlands because the version that was sent out to reviewers and sent out to very few reviewers was like a beta version that had like lots of like connectivity issues and stuff, and a lot of the reviewers kind of didn't report on that because they are assuming that it would all be fixed when the game was fully released. So that's kind of concerning, I guess, because like the NDA or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one thing that you gotta wonder, because reviewers hold a lot of clout when it comes to that kind of shit. Where if they, look what happened to Battlefront.
Yeah,
everyone shit on what the version they got, and by the time the game actually came out, none of that shit was in there anymore.
Yeah. So,
but the game is like still going, still updating. It's actually a really good game, but no one's gonna check it out because it got hammered by what was in their pre-launch. So it's almost like, I don't know. Like I'd go more by like peer reviews of people who played it on launch than people who get it ahead of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I never go by stuff like IGN anyway, because what the fuck do they know? Honestly, but I would just go by what a friend would say, like, oh, it's good. I heard there's a little bit of slowdown when someone goes to use like their menus and shit. Is what it is.
So then we're gonna mention the next game.
Yeah, I want to play some Blasphemous.
Yeah, I actually
looks really cool.
I had the opportunity to back this game. I had heard about
Everyone
it before
did.
It went to Kickstarter, and I was like, I only back games on Kickstarter for the most part that have a physical reward, and it didn't have any physical rewards. So Unfortunately, I didn't back it, but I've been following the dev for a couple years now, and yeah, super happy to see that it's out. Been hearing lots of good things about it. Fingers
like a lot of fun.
crossed one of these, as you said, one of these limited release companies pick up this game and do a physical
Or
version.
unlimited. I just want a physical version. I don't need to be like, I've got one of the 3,000 copies. I don't need the bragging rights. I just need something I can hold.
Yes.
Hold me. Besides that, Greedfall looks really cool. It's one of those ones I'm keeping an eye on too. I'll probably snag it at some point.
I'd imagine probably by the time anybody's listening to this podcast, well, you might hear this before the release of Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, the remake.
You know I'm pumped for that.
Yeah.
It's basically a re-release of the first game I ever owned. So without any, do not doubt it, I will be buying that.
Yeah.
Daemon X Machina coming out too. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
finally,
I don't know if I'm super hyped on that one. It looks interesting, but it looks very vacant. Everything that I've seen, like.
yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that too. But it looked interesting. Speaking of re-releases and remasters, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch, the first Ni no Kuni game, is coming out, and also Castle Crashers Remastered is finally coming to PS4 and Switch.
I think it's out already, isn't it?
Maybe it just came. It must have just come out. Yeah, it just came out. I think yesterday, as of this recording. Sorry.
Well,
But
and
it's
then you
finally
also
out.
got Baldur's Gate, Planescape Torment remasters.
Those are coming up at the beginning of next month. I got my copies pre-ordered. All three disc versions of the Neverwinter Nights is, I think, in November.
Yeah, it's a little further out there.
The both Baldur's Gates are the beginning of October, and
Are they? The dates I got.
or
unless I'm
at least
looking
the physical versions are coming then anyway.
Okay.
Unless they updated the release dates, but it was beginning of October. Last I checked, and I'm looking forward to those. You fuck nod those because you got PC and shit. So
Pretty much.
whatever. Maybe they fuck nod you. Did you
Yeah.
ever think of that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking those out again. I've only played a little bit of some of them, so I love those style of games. So they're more than welcome in my
Hell
collection.
yeah.
Speaking of one that's kind of divisive, I still want to check it out. I haven't played the demo, but I still want to check it out anyway. Contra Rogue Core. It's a very different Contra game, but some of the different Contra games are cool.
I'm one of the divisive guys on this one.
Yeah. Most people are.
Yeah.
I'm still wanting to give it a shot. Then we got Code Vein coming out
Hell yeah.
in the next week.
Super bummed that they shadow dropped the collector's edition pre-order, and they must have not had many because
I bought all three.
instantly, and it was
Yeah, that was
a
was
super
another one.
good price too, with a really cool statue.
What do you mean they shadow dropped it? It was up for a while.
The Code Vein collector's edition sold out immediately.
Yeah, but they were
Immediately.
they had it when I checked on it. They were still available. I didn't know you were. What? Boo! It sucks though. Yeah, I'm trying to cut back with how many games that are coming out in these next few months. It's it puts the collector's edition thing in perspective. How much do I need it? Because I could get that and the other two games that come out that week, or I could just get that game.
Get that game with a cute anime girl statue.
Yeah.
That's the route I would have went.
As much as I love my statues and shit, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, then there's the ones that I actually want. That also puts it in perspective. The ones I actually want have been like sold out since they went up. So that sucks.
Yeah. We also got The Surge 2 coming out, which I'm probably not getting it myself, but
You played Surge 1?
I heard the first one was pretty cool.
But a little bit of it is pretty cool.
It's basically Dark Souls, but post-apocalyptic road warrior folks. You know, swap your arms with the enemies and beat them with their own arms.
It's fun. I got it on the Xbox One. It is kind of cool.
Yeah. Then let's see. Early October, we got I mentioned it before, but Indivisible is finally here.
Sweet.
Which I'm stoked for that. I backed it, all that jazz.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah. And I think that's it. Mostly it. Other than like Dragon Quest XI Switch version, which is a better version, which
Dragon Quest 3 coming out.
Frustrating.
2.
Dragon Quest 1, Dragon Quest Collection's coming out.
1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I don't know about that kind of shit. I'm kind of getting over that. I was actually talking with our buddy Chris about it. I was like, yeah, no, I'm kind of over these Switch releases where they could easily fit like 6 games, but they're putting out 3. Like, what are they gonna do? 4, 5, 6 on the next one? Like,
Oh yeah.
fuck off. Like, if you're gonna put out a collection, put out a decent chunk of the collection. You know, like I said, that was my argument. I was like, at least the Mega Man ones, you're getting like 6, 7, 8 games.
Yeah.
You know, and then these ones bring out 3. I'm like, and I have, you know, I have those on NES. I have them on DS. I've got a Super Nintendo Repro with 1 and 2, and I got a one with 3 on it. So it's not something I gotta have. Not, you know, especially with how finicky they are about the Dragon Quest releases. Like, how about release 10?
No.
We never got 10 over here. Give us 10. Rather than 1, 2, and 3, which we've gotten on
Multiple.
a few occasions already, you know?
Yeah.
That's just me. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I don't know. It seems a little lackluster of a collection. Not that those are bad games. It's just, you could do better.
True that. So I guess in the next couple weeks, you are not playing the Dragon Quest collection. I mean, it's not going to be out.
I'll play the collection I have. Maybe.
Maybe. But what else are you going to be up to in the next couple weeks?
Well, I'll be finishing Astral Chain, that's for sure. I'll probably I would say tomorrow, but I got to be at work at 6 in the morning, so probably not tomorrow. I'll probably be a zombie in between the 2 jobs. But maybe Friday I'll beat it. I'm right into it, and then I'll probably jump into some Control, keeping some Fire Emblem in the mix there. I don't know. There's new games coming out all over the place.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, I sometimes squirrel and then just pop some random shit in. Probably do some more VR. I'll be working on my VR video, so that's definite. And yeah, that's about basic short version. That's not that short. What are you going to be up to?
Well, I will be finishing up StarCraft Brood War. Then I think I'll probably play, well, I don't know. I just got The Messenger, which sounds
Isn't
amazing.
as good as Yakuza 0, so...
Yeah, I know. It's going to be Yakuza 0. But what else? Well, so Code Vein comes out. I do have Code Vein on pre-order.
Yeah.
And then Justin, one of the previous co-hosts of the podcast,
Justino Heat.
he wanted... I got him all hyped up on Chrono Trigger again. So he replayed Chrono Trigger, and then he's going to check out Radical Dreamers, and he's like, hey, we should both play through Chrono Cross. And I was talking about playing through Chrono Cross, maybe because I'm still all hot for Chrono Trigger right now. I mean, I'm always hot for Chrono Trigger.
The fire burns eternal.
But yeah, but right now especially because, you know, Cartridge Club covered it as a game of the month and all that. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know where I'm going after this. I also got Man of Medan, which that's a shorter game, so I could probably just crank that out. And
yeah, I've been wanting to co-op that with at least one other person. I've got a potential group, and we might actually just play the 5-player. So I might do that. That's why I haven't checked that out yet. I've been really wanting to play that.
Cool.
But I've got at least 4 people ready. I think I got the other one I've been talking to the last little bit. If we can work it out on one of my days off, it's actually a day off, I will be checking that out for sure. That's one I kind of forgot about.
Sweet.
For the to mention. But yeah.
Yeah, I also got
it looks really cool. And it's a short game. Like, you can do it during a hangout.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those always different depending on how you play it. So
Yep. Yeah. Cool. So then I will let people know how they can get a hold of us if they have any interest in doing so. I don't know why you would.
in my case, where to avoid finding me.
So, of course, the podcast is available via SoundCloud, YouTube, podcast apps. Just look up the Game Tenants, and you will find us. And then for myself, you can look me up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just look up the Game Grinder. And Jason is on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Look up Corpse Flood Gaming. Hit us
You'll
up.
find me. It's good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what's ahead, except for tomorrow, because that's work.
Yeah.
But besides work,
I got to
cool
work
shit.
tomorrow, too.
Cool shit.
Yeah.
Well, one of these days, somehow, we'll get paid to just make podcasts and play games, but without being sellouts.
You forget that intro tagline. The failed adventures.
Oh, also the lazy.
Failed adventures of two gamers and their quest for Gamecast stardom. Maybe, but I doubt it. Who knows? Possibly. But it's not impossible.
We just gotta use our soft voices.
No ASMR stuff. That stuff weirds me out for some reason. Creepy. People like clicking their nails on their microphones and yeah, the weird.
Eating a chocolate bar. It's very good.
Yeah, I don't understand. I really don't. I don't.
Were they like chew into the microphone while they're eating like a Butterfinger?
Maybe.
Like, yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm eating a pickle.
Well,
Some
I would
people love
say
that shit. It's weird.
look elsewhere for your ASMR needs, because this podcast isn't it.
We're
All
here
right.
for all your gaming needs, though. You want to hear about some games? You want to hear at length about games, almost more than you want to hear? Here's where to show up here every episode. Do you want to hear? Yeah, do you want to hear about a game you like to the point where you're like, oh,
I don't like that game.
I think I'm a bit burned out on that game. Here's where you go.
Exactly. And I think that is
And we love that you still show up.
absolutely. And we hope you show up next time. So with that said, that's it for this episode of the Game Tenants Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Bye, we love you.
Talk to you later.